One of our earliest defenses is to try to figure things out. When something happens, we want to know why. As a child, we begin to ask why, and we begin to trust our ability to understand why in order to protect ourselves. There's an unconscious prediction that if I don't figure it out, something bad could happen. That represents probably some level of trauma-induced internalized shame, because the opposite would be something I don't want to happen could happen and I would be okay anyway. Trying to figure it out is so natural. I use this illustration of a beach ball to share why it's hard to use our conscious logical mind in order to figure it out. The problem lies in our unconscious. The symptoms become very conscious to us. In fact, our conscious mind can become very preoccupied and overanalyzing the symptoms, trying to figure it out. Our unconscious is like a supercomputer that holds all of the information from our past, more information than we can even access. It's not unusual for people to say, there are whole years or decades of my childhood that I can't even remember. Probably that's because it was painful at some level or confusing at some level. There was something there that was difficult to process as a child that you were then, and your unconscious mind protected you from it. It may come up at a later date, not to haunt you, not to disturb you, not to punish you, but rather to provide an opportunity for healing. The beach ball represents the unconscious mind. The silver circle on top is a dime that represents the size of your conscious mind in comparison to the unconscious mind. Our conscious mind is quite limited. We can only hold about 7 to 9 clusters of information any one time. I'm sure, like me, you've been concentrating on something and you got distracted. Somebody talked to you, the phone rang, something happened. And when you got back to what you were doing, that you were concentrating on so much, you begin to ask, now, where was I? And what was I doing? And how was I thinking? You've already set that aside in order to take in the other information. The unconscious mind is not like that. The unconscious mind can run basically all of our biological systems, the breathing, our heartbeat, our digestive system, and it's all outside our conscious awareness. The square in the middle, the black square, some people refer to it as a critical faculty. That is a screen that processes information from the outside and allows some to go deep inside, and it sometimes allows information from inside to come to the outside. So we have a memory, we have a recollection of some sort, or sometimes we have a trigger. Using the conscious mind to try to solve an unconscious problem really isn't very effective. In fact, I compare it to using a Game Boy, a handheld Game Boy, to solve a problem that we use a supercomputer for. It's really not very effective. But we begin to believe that if we could just solve it logically. But our emotions, our triggers, our heart wounds, our trauma-induced internalized shame lies deep in our unconscious. It takes a different approach to deal with that.